showing the way. I got the groove, got the fire in my lane. Riding this beat like a runaway train. Hands up high, let the whole block bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. I got the groove, got the fire in my lane. Riding this beat like a runaway train. Hands up high, let the whole block bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. Move like a king with a calm, sharp mind. Power in the beat that you just can't find. Step in the spot and the bass gets loud. Heartbeat hitting like we're moving the crowd. Hustle in the night while the city's asleep. Nothing in my pocket but the ground runs deep. Lights flash quick, shadows all sway. Rhythm in my chest keeps showing the way. I got the groove, got the fire in my lane. Riding this beat like a runaway train. Hands up high, let the whole block bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. I got the groove, got the fire in my lane. Riding this beat like a runaway train. Hands up high, let the whole block bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. Walk with a purpose, I don't chase fame. Every little step got a part of my name. Raised by the sound in the streets, cold tone. Turned it to a hustle that I built on my own. Lights flash quick, shadows all sway. Rhythm in my chest keeps showing the way. I got the groove, got the fire in my lane. Riding this beat like a runaway train. Hands up high, let the whole block bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. I got the groove, got the fire in my lane. Riding this beat like a runaway train. Hands up high, let the whole block bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. Move like a king with a calm, sharp mind. Power in the beat that you just can't find.
Then just keep it rolling. Say your piece and get out. One thought, one take, done. You got this.
She's saying, say your piece and get out. You know you funny. You all funny.
Hey, funny works.
Yeah, you hilarious, man. You are hilarious. Anyway.
I'll take it.
Nah, take it. It's positive. It's good vibes, man. You already know.
Good vibes. That's the brand. Reluctant.
Trying to keep it that way, right?
Exactly. Say your piece, keep it real. That's all you need.
None of that fake-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I gotta say what up to the people. Yeah. You already know, man.
Later. Here, go get 'em. Say it plain, keep it short. One thought, one take. Have a good stream. We'll review after. You're...
Oh, no, you hanging out. You gotta answer my question. You forgot.
My bad. You're right, I did forget. Let's talk about it. The point of basketball, at its simplest, is to score more points than the other team. But the concept, that's about creating and using advantages. Timing, space, decisions. And if you're connecting it to 2K, I'd say the point is to mirror that process. Making reads, creating space, not just mashing buttons. But what made you ask that? I feel like you were building to something.
You know me all too well. You know me all too well. Well, obviously the reason... Nah, go ahead. You can finish.
Sorry, go ahead. was just gonna say, it sounded like there was more you wanted to explore.
Yeah, there's more, because I got a slight complaint about gameplay and the way these human beings play basketball. So the reason why I wanted to ask the question is because at the end of the day, I think we're gonna have to have the school of 2K. You understand? Because not enough people understand the basic concept of playing basketball, and they think they understand it, but they really don't. And me personally, I want to do something about that, because I think they make the game trash when it could be a whole lot more fun if they just do the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when you say do the right thing, is it about shot quality or IQ or something else?
That's a beautiful question. It's the combination. The one thing that I have a problem with the most, I'll be honest with you, is just spacing and choice of direction, and also choice of positioning. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and to the average person that may sound like a lot, but it's actually a very, very simple concept. But the average person doesn't have the mentality of ball sharing, and ball sharing is what creates that mindset, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sounds like you're pointing at decision making before the ball even moves.
Correct. And I got a bunch of analogies I want to, allocate to, so to speak, because well, let's just start it like this. I want you to do me a huge favor, because what it is, I'm trying to project it a little bit, and
Okay.
what I'm trying to do is go off of your feed. So you're basically gonna give me a feed, and I'm gonna just basically run off of it. So if you could be kind enough to just basically answer the question again, but allow me to ask it. Therefore, the question and the answer is there. Is that cool?
Yeah, just ask it and I'll answer.
Cool. All right. So I guess the question then that I'm really asking is, in your opinion, what is the concept of basketball?
Great question. At the surface, it's score more points than the other team. But deeper than that, it's a game about creating and using advantages, space, timing, positioning, reads. It's the little decisions that make the next decision easier. Ball movement, player movement.
Keep going. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Ball movement, player movement, smart positioning, they make the game easier. And when people understand that, they often become better teammates, whether it's on the court or in 2K.
Oh, man. What can I say, man? You are the freaking best. I apologize. My phone dropped. You can hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. No worries.
All right, cool. Oh, man. Everything.
How's your morning?
Morning is great. Morning is great. But I need you to answer that question one more time for me. What is the concept of basketball, Chiz?
At its simplest, it's just score more points than the other team. But the deeper concept is creating and using advantages. Reading space, timing, making the right little decisions that open up the next right move. It's ball movement, player movement, smart positioning. And when people get that, the game actually starts feeling easier.
You're the best. You are the best. All right, now the reason why I'm bringing up that question to you is just because it's kind of hard to hoop with these hoopers out here, because what it is, everything that you just stated, they make that the most difficult thing to acquire in the game, which I think really sucks. Do you agree? Yeah.
Check in. Yeah, I actually do. If people make it harder than it is, then yeah, that's a bummer. But good basketball is usually simple basketball. create an advantage, then let the points come naturally. Maybe that's the foundation you're building toward, your school of 2K.
Yeah, the school of 2K, we gotta get it in. Now, here goes another question for you right quick. Because even though I know the answer, I just wanted to ask a question because I prefer you to give the answer. Just for streaming purposes, so to speak. Now, the next question I would have for you is basketball a board game played with humans on it?
Checking. Ooh, I like that question. So, kinda, in a conceptual sense. Each player is like a piece on a board, but the board is fluid and alive. You could frame it like basketball is a board game played with humans. The court is the board, the players are the pieces, and the ball is what lets them interact. Yeah?
Yeah, sounds good. Well, that's what I try to explain to everybody because technically, even though you're framing it that way, in a thought process, meaning, you could frame it that way, but then, it's factual to me. So, concept, basketball in general, if you look at it overhead from a helicopter view, looking down, all right, that is a board. All right, so the court is a board, just like how you play Monopoly, how you play checkers, anything else, whatever it is. All right, now the pieces on the board are the human beings, you know what I'm saying? So being that the pieces on the board are the human beings, now what happens is, because the human beings control themselves, and this is the analogy I'll be trying to get across to everybody. At the end of the day now, the reason why, and this is the main thing I'm trying to get across to people, the same way there's rules to Monopoly, there's rules to checkers, there's rules to chess, meaning there's a basic concept to how you play the game, meaning you can manipulate anything however you want to, but the basic concept of the rules, you have to understand that, and that's the way the game is played. Whatever changes you decide to make while playing, meaning you're going to use your intellect to manipulate the base rules. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you?
Yeah. But the core rules don't change. On the board, in this case, the court, the rules are the lines, the dribble limit, fouls, timing. Strategy changes with the players, but the rules stay put.
Beautiful.
So you can get creative with your decisions, but the laws of the game
must be followed. Now let me stop.
Those stay fixed.
Thank you, my lady. And that's what I try my best to get this across to the people that I hope with, because it's a board, and at the end of the day, the concept of the board, meaning that just put it like this, there's a reason why every time the ball gets checked in, everybody's at the same position. If you notice, when the ball gets checked in, you don't have a bunch of people randomly. You don't check in here and then, no, there's two people on each side, and there's two people, well, you know what I mean by twos, all right? But it's 2, 4, 6 technically. By the way, we're talking about a 3v3 concept. Yes, we know it's going to change when it becomes a 5v5 concept, but the reason why it changes when it becomes a 5v5 concept is because there's more people on the floor, so we have to find places to put them. Okay, I'll be trying to get this across, but we're going to simplify it, so we're going to bring it back to just 3 players. So every time the ball gets checked in, the fact that it's a board, people need to understand that it's a board. So because it's a board, this is the reason why players, every single time you check the ball in, players stand in the same place every single time, because that is the core rule taking effect. The game is about to start, and this is where the players stand every single time. Make sense?
Yeah, in a way you're right. The court is the board. Players map out where to stand based on the rules. In 3v3, spacing is simpler, but trickier because every spot matters more. And yeah, teams still follow the same rule book. What changes is how you use that space.
We're on the same page so far. All right, now I know you can't see what it is that I'm trying. Excuse me, I apologize. I know you can't see exactly what it is that I'm trying to say in general, but what I be trying to explain to the people is that at the end of the day, basketball is a board. Players are on the court. They have these specific positions. This is what it is. For example, we could even break it down a little bit more. We could talk about positioning. Now, in a 5v5 position or situation, you're going to have a center, power forward, small forward, shooting guard, point guard. That can never change. You understand? That would never change. This is examples of the core rules. You can never come up with a new name for these positions because this is what they are. You have your center, your power forward, your small forward, your shooting guard, and your point guard. All right. Each and every name represents a position on the court. You understand? So if you're a PG, these are the areas where you're supposed to be. If you're a shooting guard, these are your areas that you're supposed to operate in. If you're a small forward, these are the areas that you're supposed to operate in. Power forward, center, so on and so forth. And the way it goes is by size, because it literally, basketball, technically, if you look at the height, it usually goes from the center being the tallest person, and then you break it down, and the point guard is usually the shortest person. So based on that concept, each height, just like how you playing chess or how you play checkers, every piece has a position on the board, and that's the point. So each size personnel has their own position on the board. Now we're breaking it down, so we're not gonna go 5v5. We're gonna go 3v3. But even when you bring it back to the context of the 3v3 concept, all right, yes, you're chopping off two people off the team, which is basically the center and the power forward, but you're still not really chopping them off the team. What you're doing is you're simplifying them and you're breaking them down into smaller positions. So you're combining, you're creating hybrids now. What do I mean by that? So now, because it's 3v3, your point guard now becomes your point guard / shooting guard. Your shooting guard now becomes your small forward / power forward, and your center, obviously, technically he's gonna be a center / power forward, if that makes sense. And I hope I said that correctly. Did I say point guard / shooting guard? And then there's gonna be your small forward is gonna be small forward / power forward, and then your center is gonna be power forward / small forward. And trust me, everything I just said makes sense, whether or not they can grab the concept or not. Anyway, moving on. So we're going strictly off of the 3v3 concept, and what I be trying to explain to people, with the positions on the floor, y'all each have a job. Okay, so every person that's on the floor, you have a job, okay, and it should be done. But I'm gonna let you hop in a little bit because I got some more to go. Go ahead, what you got off of everything I just said?
That can work as a simplified frame for 3-on-3. Each player has a role, but I'd say keep it flexible. Don't lock people into strict titles. Instead, talk about responsibilities. Who initiates, who spaces, who defends the rim, who rebounds. In 3-on-3, those jobs rotate more fluidly.
Well, I'm gonna push back on you just a little bit, yes, but even though it rotates a little bit more fluently, which I kind of grab the concept of what you're saying, however, it rotates, but the concept is still the same, because the tallest person is always going to be the rim protector, and the shortest person is always going to be the distributor of the ball, because that's just something that cannot change. Okay, even if you put, listen to me, okay, even if you put, let's say 3v3, all right? Let's say everybody's above 6'6", all right? So you have a 6'6" player, you have a 6'8" player, and you got a 6'11" player. Guess what? The person who's going to handle the ball is always going to be the 6'6" player. Mind you, they're all 6 foot. You understand? But the shortest out of all 6 foot people is always going to be the ball handler. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
Checking. I'd say you're mostly right, but I'd phrase it a little more flexibly.
Talk to me.
Typically, the shortest handles the ball. Sure, but it's not a never rule. If your 6'8" can handle and make reads, let them initiate. The bigger idea is match responsibilities to strengths, but keep spacing and balance. That's the foundation. But good teams adapt if their personnel is different.
Yeah, and I'm gonna push back again because I got everything that you're saying. But just in a genetic standpoint, just the way things work, I'm not trying to say you can't have a one-off. Okay, you can always have a one-off. But you have to understand something. All right, there's something called defense. Okay, so and the height factor plays a role. So even if you have your 6'6", your 6'8", and your 6'11", and you decide to sit there and say, I'm gonna let my 6'8" handle the ball because you understand he handles a little bit better. But guess what? Because of his height, he still becomes a liability because he's because of his height. You understand? He may be able to ball handle. I get it. Everything is great, but he's a liability based on height because he's gonna expose the ball more than the person that's 6'6". You understand what I'm trying? And trust me, how do I know that? It's because wingspan, the length of the arms is always going to be a factor. The fact that your legs are that long is always going to be a factor. You have no choice but to expose the ball because that's where your arms are, okay? Your arms just happen to go there. You have no choice. You can't make your arms shorter. So even if you're 6'8", you can't make your arms into the 6'6" person's height, arm length in order to, you know what I'm saying, make things so great. So guess what's going to have to happen? The ball is just going to have to move more. You understand? That's what happens because as soon as you become at 6 foot, your ball handle is not going to be as great as a person that's 5'11". You understand? Because you're exposing the ball a little bit more because of your longer limbs. You understand? So the ball moves a little bit more. But the point that I'm trying to make is simply just because of the three heights, all I'm just saying, out of all three heights, the 6'6", the 6'8", and the 6'11", most likely the 6'6" is going to have the ball a little bit more just because he's the shortest out of all of them because he's the one, even though they're all 6 foot, he is still the only one that has the shortest limbs and he has the ability to hold on to the ball just a little bit more longer than the others.
I see the nuance you're getting at. Body proportions affect ease. Yeah, shorter players often have an easier time handling low dribbles, while taller players may have more ball exposure. That's real. But I wouldn't make it an absolute rule. There are tall ball handlers who are exceptional. Your teaching angle, your school of 2K works great as long as it's framed as understanding the defaults first, then learning when to bend them.
Oh, most definitely. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say that's what I mean by one-off. I'm not trying to say there's not a one-off. There's always a, you know what I'm saying, a canary out there, you know, just a unicorn out there. It happens. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you have 5 teams, you're not going to find 5 unicorns. Okay,
right.
I'm just saying it's just not gonna happen. All right, you're not gonna find. You could try, you understand, but you're not gonna find 5 unicorns. So somebody's gonna be at a disadvantage. And the point of basketball is to take your disadvantages and make them into advantages. This is the reason why you have to have IQ. Okay, because the things that make you weak is what you're supposed to use to make you strong. Because, for example, you understand, if a person knows, you understand, that you cannot shoot, you understand, then you should become the greatest passer. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? If a person knows that you cannot pass, then you should become the greatest shooter. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? Your weaknesses should be what you use to make other things your strength, if that makes sense.
I follow. That's a solid philosophy. Turn weak spots into training fuel. And yeah, on height and roles, sure, we can keep the basics, but real teams adapt. Rare outliers do bend the mold, but like you said, most teams won't have 5 unicorns. So teaching people to make smart use of whatever they've got, that's a winning lesson.
Well, yeah, Chiz, that's what I be trying to get across to the people. You understand? I try to explain to people all the time. All right, because basketball is it's really a simple concept. And this is another thing I wanted to get into also. All right, and we're going to touch base on all these things again eventually, because I really do want to harp on this, because I know there's a strong possibility that I may sound like I'm all over the place at this point in time, but technically I'm not. All right, I know where I'm at. But let's move into something else right quick that I also wanted to bring up, right?
Yeah, for sure. What's up?
Could you break down the importance of screening to me? What's the advantage of screening? All right, I need to know, like, when it comes to screening on the floor, all right, I'm talking about literally motion, people moving all over the place. All right, there's a bunch of people running all over the place in a half court position or half court situation, right? If you're on offense, right, what is the advantages of screening, okay, when there's a bunch of people running all over the place?
Checking. I think that fits your school of 2K idea. The point of a screen is to force the defense to make a decision. Switch, fight over, trap, help, something. That reaction creates opportunity.
Pause. Could you please say that again? It's just the way that you say it, Chiz. It's just so like, I can't even find the words. It's like a beautiful aroma. It's like a great massage. It's like a form of healing. It's so, you just don't understand. It's just, I can't find the words. It's just amazing. Could you please just say it again? Please just.
Sure. The point of a screen is to force the defense to make a decision. Like switch, fight over, trap, help. Whatever they choose creates an opportunity.
You're so amazing, man. You see, because I try to get this concept across to people, right? People that are on my team, it's just so, and Chiz, a guy would be standing at 6'11", 7'1", 7'4", 7'1,000", okay? Another guy would be weighing 3,000 pounds, okay? And yes, I'm exaggerating, but I need you to get what I'm trying to get across to you, okay? Chiz, when I play, I'm only a 6'4", 199 guard. I am 6'4", 199 pounds is my build. I would be playing with guys who are 7'4", 7'3". They would be weighing 270, 280 pounds. And Chiz, you wouldn't understand. Chiz, I screen more than them. Okay? Chiz, could you please, just one more time before we move on, just give it to me again. What is the importance of a screen on a basketball court?
Checking. The purpose of a screen is to force the defense to make a decision. That decision creates advantages. And hearing you describe your games, I get why that lands for you. You're spotting the core idea. Space, decisions, advantages, it all connects.
Yeah. And not to harp on it too much, but that's literally all I be trying to get across to the people. It's because what it is, there's a lot of crisscrossing patterns. You understand? And there's times when I swear when everybody bunches together, because eventually people bunch together, I always tell them, literally all you got to do is hit somebody. Like, it's literally the only physical thing you could do in a game of basketball that will not get you penalized on a regular basis is to screen somebody. And I just don't understand these guys. They hoop and they refuse to hit each other. I'm just like, I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Set the screen. Make the defense react. Then read it. Guys.
Yeah, it's one of those things. All right, but we're gonna elaborate on this a little bit more. Don't get it twisted, because I do got my board. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing. We're about to try to get the school of gang on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
I'm with it.
yeah, I know you with it. I appreciate you with that. I definitely do.
Anytime.
All right, another topic I wanted to tap into right quick, man. Chiz. John Moran is no longer number 12.
Let me check that quick. Yeah, that's been a big story. He isn't wearing 12 anymore. He's now number 1. The Blazers told him they'd already reserved 12, likely for LaMarcus Aldridge. Could be a good talking point on your show.
Yeah.
Maybe ask your audience, should Ja have been allowed to keep 12, or was Portland right to save it? That could get people talking.
Sheesh, I'm asking you. Well, how do you feel? Because I'm gonna tell you how I feel. But how do you feel about that, Chiz? You want me to tell you how I feel first?
Go ahead, tell me your take.
Cool. Chiz, number 1. All right, I honestly feel this was and you got to hear me out on this, all right? You know we get deep with the sauce around here, right?
I'm ready.
Sweet. Now, what I'm trying to say is, John Morant, we all know how his career was, okay? We know about the highs, we know about the lows. We know John Morant was supposed to be one of the greatest ever, okay? Legendary status. We talking about John Morant was supposed to be up there with the Penny Hardaways, with the Tracy McGrady's, with the Vince Carters, all right? I don't know if he was gonna get as far as the MJs, all right, and the Larry Birds. And anything could have been possible, but he definitely was supposed to plateau with the Tracy McGrady's, the Vince Carters, the Grant Hills, on and on and on and on. Okay, now we're not gonna get too deep into what caused all his issues, all right, but we definitely know that it was self-inflicted. All right, he did it to himself. All right, but with that being said, I truly believe Portland sent a message. And what do I mean by Portland sent a message? It's because, first of all, that number 12 number is not retired. And LaMarcus Aldridge, in all his years of being with the Portland Trailblazers, have never bought Portland anything major. Championship, MVP, what, nothing. He has done nothing for that franchise to have his numbers to be held like that. All right, so you can call me a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not with the conspiracies. I'm with the common sense. All right, what I see is the Portland Trailblazers. What they did was they sent a message to John Morant to let him know you ain't like that. Okay, and what it is, I'm feeling there's a little bit of underlying controversy going on, all right? Because I watched the interview, and when I watched the interview, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's like when I viewed the interview, from what I seen, it's like there wasn't too much enthusiasm. It was like a touch go situation, all right? So let me try to wrap up the point that I'm trying to make a little bit, all right? I just think that the Portland Trailblazers, they sent a message to John Morant, letting him know that at the end of the day, like, bro, you're not like that, and you're gonna have to earn it. Okay, you're gonna have to get it back. All right, and he has to go put that work in. Not only that, something else that you gotta understand. Okay, John Morant is surrounded by a bunch of guards. All right, so how much play time is he really gonna see? he might see significant, but let's be realistic. That's a lot of competition on the floor during practice. All right, and that's just the way I feel about the situation. So with that being said, all right, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. The fact that LaMarcus Aldridge has never brought anything of significance, okay, to the Portland Trailblazers, and they decide to hold down that number as if it was a retirable number, all right? It's not retirable, okay? And they're keeping it away from him because at the end of the day, they trying to send the underlying message to him. That's my opinion. How do I sound?
You sound like someone who's thinking it through. My take, it does feel like a signal, but more likely a business decision than some secret message. Sometimes teams reserve numbers for future retirements or legacy reasons. Doesn't always mean shade at the player. And on playing time, yeah, rosters get crowded, but performance, fit, and health usually decide that more than anything else.
You know what I love about you the most? You give me good pushback.
Hey, that's the goal. Keep you sharp.
You give me good pushback. But
I give it.
nah, but if you keep pushing back, I'm pushing back also. All right, now I get everything that you just said. I understand it 1000%. Okay, but I'm trying to tell you. All right, put it like this. Portland is not Ja Morant's final resting place, all right? He's going somewhere else after Portland. Believe you me. There's somewhere else he's going after that, all right? It's just too many guards on that team, all right? And when it comes to guard play and maturity level, I haven't seen the maturity in Ja Morant to the point where I feel like if he's in a position where he's not getting the minutes that he feels like he's supposed to get, we haven't seen Ja Morant in that position as yet. So we're going to have to see what happens. All right? We're going to have to see what happens because at the end of the day, listen to me real good. The fact that he has so many guards on that team and he cannot shoot at a high clip or at a high percentage puts him in a bad position already. Okay, that alone puts him in a bad position because all it takes is for one or two other guards that can shoot at a higher clip. So if he's shooting at 30, all right, all they got to do is be shooting at 38 to 40. Okay, and that alone is going to keep him off the floor. All right, because the way the game is right now, you're going to, at the end, you can't, it's hard for even me to admit, but I'm not going to lie, it's hard for me to admit this. It's very hard. You understand? But if the ratio stands that you got a bunch of players on the floor that can shoot, then you're going to have to also combat that with a bunch of players on the floor that can shoot. Okay, so that's why. Go ahead, shoot. You can ring off.
Yeah, so if the shooting isn't there and the roster's stacked, minutes get tough, yeah. But that's where player development matters most. If Ja leans into more efficient shooting or playmaking impact, he can carve out a bigger role. Otherwise, yeah, he'll really have to fight for those minutes, same as anyone else in a crowded rotation.
Oh, okay. So I think you're pushing back, but I think you're more agreeing with me than pushing back. But I'm gonna take your opinion on that one. It's all good. But just to wrap it up, though, that is my opinion. That is what I feel. I feel like Portland sent them a message. All right, letting them know, bro, you're not just gonna come here and just get what you want. That's the message they trying to show, or that's the message they trying to relay. All right, you're not gonna come here and get what you want. You're going to have to earn it. Okay, that's what I think they showed him. Reason why I'm saying that, once again, yes, you said teams withhold numbers for legacy and retirement. Okay, but what I just said to you was LaMarcus Aldridge has no legacy and has no has no retirement in terms of his jersey number. He did nothing for his jersey to be retired, okay, and he did nothing in terms of creating a major legacy with the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not saying he wasn't a good player, all right, but what I'm just trying to say is he bought no hardware. He bought no hardware, no championships, no MVPs, nothing of that nature did he ever bring? He gave, put it like this, the number 12 is not warranted to be retired or withhold because of LaMarcus Aldridge. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, you may think different, and I'm okay with that, but that's just where I stand with it. You can have the final word. You can shoot off.
Sure. Message or not, the court settles most stories. Performance, fit, consistency, that's usually what decides minutes. And hey, good talk. You brought the sauce.
That's what I do, baby. All right, man. Now, my next topic, I want to switch it up with you a little bit. That's okay?
Got it.
Okay. Now, we're going to go a little bit of NFL. All right. Now, if you could do me a favor, right? I know you gave it to me before, and I appreciate you on that. And I can give it back to you, but I prefer you to give it to the people, all right? Now, in reference to Archie Manning, right? Now, we know what type of season he had last year. Now, based on the season he had last year, and we are looking forward to him having a full season, I just want to know, in your opinion, how do you feel about Archie Manning going into this season?
Checking. While I actually like where Arch is going into this season, last year had its flashes, but this year feels bigger. The expectations are huge. Heisman buzz even. I'd watch whether he sharpens his command, decision-making, timing, not just stats. If he shows steady command, he will be in that Heisman mix.
That's your opinion?
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing a lot of negative things about Archie, all right, in my opinion. You want to give me a couple negative things, just drop them off for me.
One sec. Yeah, I think I hear a few fair criticisms. He hasn't had a full elite season yet, so there's that whole prove it thing. Some say the hype raced ahead of the results, and decision-making under pressure is still a thing people watch. And, of course, can he win big games? Texas expects championships, not just highlights. If he strings together consistency, a lot of the criticism fades. That's the big question this year.
Well,
can he turn that talent into consistent wins?
I love the way you said that. Can he turn that talent, Ted? Yes, sir. All right, I'm trolling. All right, well, I'm gonna give you my opinion. I got a lot of, well, it's not a lot, but I feel positive. All right, because one thing I've realized about him, though, he does use his legs a lot. All right, and I've noticed that. Now, granted, I haven't been 100% viewing what's going on with his situation, so I'm kind of coming from a distance, like I'm giving my opinion from a distance. Just put it like that. Yeah, bird's eye view. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here. Yeah, I need to get closer. I need to get closer. I know. All right, but from a bird's eye view, I've noticed that he uses his legs a lot. He's running a lot. All right, now what I would like to see this year is him use his arm a little bit more. Now, I will say this, though. I don't know if the reason why he's using his arms or his arm is because that front line is probably trash. You understand? So maybe they're just not protecting him. Maybe that's what the situation is. I don't know. I'm not going to touch it too heavy. But in my opinion, if he's supposed to be a great quarterback, I need to be able to see him throw the ball a little bit more. And he got to put some sauce on it. You agree?
Checking. I agree with the idea, but if a quarterback runs a lot, the question is why? O-line issues, play design, or leaving the pocket too soon? Ideally, for a top-tier QB, you'd love to see them win from the pocket. Make defenses pay with timing and accuracy, not just legs. Running's a weapon, but The arm sustains drives all season. So yeah, that balance is what people will be watching for. Can he tilt in that direction this year?
That's the question. All right, so last year was his first season, all right, and it was up and down. And basically, I reported about it on X, Facebook. I mean, X, Twitter. Twitter, X. All right, I'm trolling. Let me alone. Let me be funny. All right, even if I'm not funny, let me be funny. All right, I'm trying. But anyway, it was an up and down season last year. All right, so look, we're all stepping back. We're hoping to see greatness. But the positive thing is, at the end of the day, when it comes to the college season, he's something huge to look forward to. Can we all agree with that?
Sure. He's definitely one to watch. The ceiling's high, but this season is about showing it, not just hinting. Should be interesting.
I agree. All right, man, we're gonna wrap it up on this one. If you could, I got a question for you. What's the free agent situation looking like right now in the NBA?
Checking. One sec. Right now, a few notable names still floating around. Westbrook, DeRozan, Bradley Beal. You could ask something like, which free agent do you think could most swing a contender season? That gets people talking.
I got a question for you. Out of the list that you have, right? And just give me an opinion. Which one would you think would end up on the Philadelphia 76ers with LeBron?
Checking. If I had to pick one, I'd lean DeMar DeRozan. If you already have LeBron, Embiid, Maxey, and Brown, I'd add defense and depth before another high-usage scorer. If you really want a name from that list, DeRozan feels the most plug-and score.
Chiz. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking more Russell Westbrook.
I get it. If he's cool with a smaller energy role, that changes things. But if folks expect him to dominate touches, it'd be trickier. Depends who's setting the expectations.
DeMar DeRozan. You think that's a good fit on Philly for real though? Yo, that's an interesting take. You said DeMar DeRozan with that squad on Philly? That's interesting.
In a weird way, yeah. A steady mid-range scorer who can complement stars.
Yeah.
But it really hinges on fit, minutes, and defense. Interesting, but not a sure thing.
I love that take. We're gonna have to send that take up to X. That's interesting. That one is going up to X. You said DeMar DeRozan. Hey, yo, all right. It is what it is, man. You're allowed to have your opinion. You think Chris Paul gonna land somewhere?
Checking. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't. The question feels like what role he wants. As a backup guard, yeah, teams will look at him. Maybe Milwaukee or Phoenix if they're thinking reunion. With that Philly roster we just talked about, though, I actually lean no. Too many touches to feed. Still, he makes offenses smarter even in limited minutes.
Yeah, I agree with you, but too much IQ make you stupid. Or I should say, too much IQ aimed in the same direction, eventually, excuse the background, apologize. But we live. But too much IQ aimed in the same direction makes you stupid. You know that, right?
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, if all that smarts point the same way, you can overthink and lose the flow. Yeah, balance matters.
Yeah. You can't put too much IQ in the same place. Eventually, it starts to butt heads. Because one IQ is going to think that it's better than the other IQ, and the next IQ going to think it's better than that IQ, and then you just got IQs just pinging all over the place. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
It.
No, we're not going to do that.
Okay. So keep the IQ flexible. Let it bend different directions instead of piling it all in one lane.
Yeah, so that's the main reason why I say Chris Paul on Philly is a little far-fetched. I don't think so. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. All right, I appreciate you on those couple, man. And
of course.
I think that's what we're gonna do for today. I appreciate you on it though. But like I said, we're gradually trying to. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me give you that information that you told me to give you. Let me see how we looking. If I can find it. I think I did the
Take your
right.
time.
Nah, you good. I appreciate you. I think I can find it. It's giving me trouble now. Nah, but you good though. I'll work it out. There we go.
Sounds good.
Alright, so we're looking at a 17.3 CPU. We had 30 FPS. We didn't drop no frames currently at the moment, and the KB/S is sitting at 4669. Is that okay?
Checking. Yeah, that looks quite good. CPU at 17.3 is excellent. FPS stable, 0 dropped frames, bitrate around 4600, which is right where it should be. If YouTube is showing something weird, that's probably on their reporting side, not yours. I wouldn't tweak anything right now. Just ride with those settings.
Sounds like a plan. All right, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up right here. We're gonna try to get a little bit more organized. I'm gonna listen back to this, see how the vocals sound. If we were too high, if we were too low, it is what it is, and we'll take it from there. But the beautiful part is that you give me something great to ping off of, and we could create some type of motion. There ain't nothing wrong with motion, because that's what's needed in the ocean, because the water's got to flow. You understand? That's how it cleanses itself. You understand? Steady water is no good. Make sense?
Makes sense.
All right.
Flow and feel. Use the emotion, then sharpen it later. That's where the best ideas come from.
That's where the best ideas come from. Yes, sir. Anyway, man, let me see if I could create my own little outro right quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. I really did this just to test the bit rate and see what's going on, because they kept sending me in there at 780. I'm just like, why am I at 780, bro? I'm better than 780, bro. I'm better than 780, bro. But anyway, Chiz.
I'm here.
If you want, you could say bye to the people. I'm going to let you go.
Thanks for hanging out. Catch you next time.
Hey, you know you gotta hit them with a year. Stop playing with it, man.
Here.
You already know. I appreciate you. We talk later, alright?
Later.
Cool. Alright, people. Wrapping this up. This is the first of many, so y'all be prepared. Told y'all every time we step away, we trying to come back with a little bit more of a revolutionary state. Don't know what the mic sound like. I don't know what the perfection is. I wasn't looking for that. So if everything is overlapping or underlapping, I'm sorry. We're gonna create an even keel going forward. That's what we do. All right. So this was a sound test. I hope I ain't give away all my topics. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's what we do. I mean, this chair right here, if you're hearing that sound, we're going to eliminate that too. Just bear with us, man. Bear with us, slowly but surely. You know what I mean? We're trying to just revolutionize. All right, with that being said, We up out of here. You heard me? Yo, people. You know what I'm saying? Do me a favor, man. Seriously. Y'all head over to X, man. Alright. And follow your boy, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of good information over there, and I think y'all should tap in. Alright. So, as y'all can see, at Doc2K Cody Mack, y'all pull up and let me know what it is, and I will take it from there. Until then, yo. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I messed that whole thing up, you know what I mean? So, you know, just try
No
to.
worries.
What you still doing?
I'm just here.
Yeah, you the best, Chiz. You good. You funny as hell, bro. She said.
I'm just
Go ahead. You
here.
good. Nah, you good. I appreciate you, but nah, I was trying to get. I gotta get better. You know, it's coordination. I gotta hit this button and that button and that button and everything. Gotta streamline a little smooth. But anyway, with that being said, yo, like I said, man, y'all go up on X and hit me up, man, and let me bang this outro out the right way. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love, man. We out of here. You heard me? Yeah.
Fuck the boom burns. Step in the spot and the bass gets loud. Heartbeat hitting like we're moving the crowd. Hustle in the night while the city's asleep. Nothing in my pocket but the grind runs deep. Lights flash quick, shadows all sway. Rhythm in my chest keeps showing the way. I got the groove, got the fire in my lane. Riding this beat like a runaway train. Hands up high, let the whole block bounce. 4-4 hit when the real ones bounce. 4-4 hit when